No. Physically doing all day.
Oh, okay.
Right here. Sorry.
Sorry. Okay, everything. You ready to go? All right, folks, I'd like to call the meeting to order at 7:30 on September 26th. Stand, pledge allegiance, short motion. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Heavenly Father, we thank you that we could gather, and we just ask that all the things that we do here in this meeting help make Osnaburg a great place to be, and be with all of our staff as they're out working. It's in your name. Amen. All right. Before we begin, I'd like to thank you for covering for me last meeting. I apologize to be absent. I was a sixth grade camp guy in the dorms with the kids. And I got very little sleep.
Just for the record, it's the quickest meeting we've ever had.
Okay, all right. Thanks for your head. Dang it. I hate it when that happens. Well, thank you for covering for me last meeting. I really appreciate it. I had a chance to read over the minutes, and they look great. I have a question for Miss Amy about the pump test, but I'll check that later. So everything else looked great. Okay, let's move right along. Approval of the agenda. What would you like to
Back up
add?
a second.
Yeah.
There's some agenda changes.
Yep.
Both, I guess, are going to fall under new business.
Okay.
And that is SCOG, Stark County Council of Governments.
Okay.
They're requesting a change in the funding distribution model from the Department of Transportation for all political entities, subdivisions, cities, and villages.
Okay.
So, and it
Is that the email that we just got?
It is. It's
Okay, great.
real complicated, but we
Okay.
have to kind of talk about it and make a decision because they're going to call for a vote of the reps, which I'm the rep,
Okay.
and you guys got to tell me what you want to do before I have to do that vote.
Got it. Okay.
They just sent that out this week.
All right.
I mean, though he did present it in person to the reps, and we told him, you got to give more information out to the rest of the body. So,
Okay.
and then the second thing is the zoning commission has sent a request for you to take a view at their proposed layered zoning map before they send it to regional planning, just to get your feedback. And Mary has that. She can pull it up on the screen when we're ready.
Okay. We're getting ready to send that regional, right?
Yeah, we're giving a preview.
Hardwired in,
Okay.
or
Yeah.
because I'm
That's
plugged in now.
That's a new business, so we're gonna layered. Okay. Layered zoning. Okay.
We'll do that at the end, Brian.
Okay. Great.
Of zoning or in
The end
new
of under new business, so that you
All
can
right.
change the plug.
And I have a new business as well. I've been texting with the mayor of East Canton, and he would like for us to meet with them, go over a couple things. So I was I'll explain that when we get there.
I've got a little update on parks on roads.
Okay. That's a new, okay, parks update. Great. Anything else? All right, seeing none, we're gonna move along. Approval of the minutes from 9/12/22.
Perfect motions to approve the minutes.
Trustee Puro, second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Approval of the treasurer's report.
Trustee Puro moves to accept it as presented.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, wonderful. All right, public speaks. Mr. Miller, thanks for coming. If you could come up here and stand in front of the mic for us and tell us why you're here.
Well, I'm here on behalf of Miller Builders to try and get resolution to this month.
Okay. Referring to the salt shed, correct?
Correct.
Just for the record, I always have to have it on there.
Yep.
Great. All right.
Do we have any other public speaks?
We do not.
Trustee Puro moves to go into executive session at 7:35 for matters required to be kept confidential.
Trustee Varian, second.
Roll call, Puro,
Yes,
Griffith,
Yes.
Varian.
Yes.
and I request that the three trustees and fiscal officer meet first, and we will come get Mr. Miller upon whenever we're ready.
Thank you. All right.
Wake up, I'm gonna shut off this sound on that, but it's gonna stay on. You'll see the button on it, so you can't talk. everything's back on.
I'm gonna take this back out.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to come back out of executive session at 7:45.
Trustee Puro, second.
Roll call, Puro,
Yes.
Griffith.
Yes.
Varian.
Yes. All right, Mr. Miller, actually, we had a chance to get together and chat. We have been trying to contact our attorney, Charlie Hall, and we've had not success today. We tried him earlier today and then just tried him here recently. And so at this point in the process, we prefer to wait until our attorney's present to meet and talk. So we do not, obviously, we value your time very much and don't want to waste your time. But we need to get a hold of our attorney, and we will definitely communicate with you and get you back in here. If that needs to be a special meeting, we can do that. We have some channels we have to go through. We can't just have a meeting. We've got to promote that and things like that. But we're going to contact Mr. Hall, get on his schedule, and then we'd love to have you come back in and we'll talk.
Okay.
So thank you very much for your
Thank
time.
you.
Really appreciate it.
I didn't get a chance, but we passed those out.
Oh, thank you. You got some paperwork for us. Perfect.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Miller, thank you. All right. Kyle, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you being here. All right. Moving right along. Fire report.
All right, I would like to approve money for fire safety. We usually approve money about this time of year for purchasing materials for the school that we take to the school in October. And to be honest with you, I don't remember what the number was last year. It's usually around somewhere between $500 and $600.
Yeah, I remember when it was only 400.
Oh, I know.
Stuff
It's
is-
like everything. prices-
Everything's more expensive. And there's a couple of classes of elementary school that are just simply gigantic.
It's a lot of humans.
I know, what happened?
Right.
So I'm hoping for $600 if that's in the budget.
And just real quick, are these the fire
We do K
hats?
through 5. We actually don't usually do hats for this.
Okay.
We do some kind of material. So we do safety material. It's either like coloring books or material that goes home with the kids, like check your smoke detectors kind of stuff.
Great.
And what's just because October is a certain month?
October is fire safety month.
Okay.
Yeah, we go into the schools every year in October and do a presentation and talk to the kids about fire safety.
Okay. All right. Trustee Barry moves. Would you up to $600? Would that be
Yeah.
adequate?
I'm thinking, I don't have my numbers right in front of me,
Okay.
but it might have exceeded 600, just over it last year.
Last year it
Do you
may
want
have.
to are we okay to go up to 7?
Yeah, you're good to do that.
Okay.
Okay.
And I know last year you gave me a list,
Yep.
or Jordan or
And
whoever
you
was
ordered
there,
it.
and then I ordered it all
Is that how
for
you
you,
want to do it?
if you can.
Yep, sure can.
Chief, is this K? What'd you say? K to?
We do K through 5 usually.
Okay.
If for whatever reason and stuff is crazy expensive, then we'll probably just do like K through 4. Like,
Okay.
We'll still meet with the older kids, we just won't send the coloring books.
Okay, great. Trustee Varian moves to purchase materials for the East Canton students of K through 5, not to exceed $700.
Trustee Puro, seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
That's gonna be resolution 22-222.
2-222. Okay.
They're not on here, but this weekend we are having some issues with furnace number 2. I ended up just shutting the breaker off to it, despite the fact that all the thermostats were turned off. It's still making a terrible sound. We open it up and there's mouse poop inside, which leads me to believe that there's probably more issues. So I'm hoping we can do like a fall PM on them before we kick the heat on.
Okay.
Maybe set some.
Zorn,
traps.
is Zorn our guy
We
for that?
have,
Yeah.
because we had
Zorn. Okay.
some
You want me to
behind the
contact
stove.
I can.
It's a bad time of year for mice, but I'm a little afraid to kick it on if there's something else going on.
All right.
So
Do we typically get filters changed and it get a run? I mean, do
we
we?
are really good at changing filters.
But
That's about all we can do.
okay, that's fine. So I'll call Zorn tomorrow.
That's fine.
Yeah, I can do that. And we'll
Maybe I
get.
should say that's all I can do is change.
Yeah, that's fine. And he's good. Okay.
And the last thing is we're having some issues with the SCBA compressor. This is a system we know we're gonna have to replace. They're supposed to come out this week and look, and I've told them that they cannot fix anything until they let me know. what is going on and what it's gonna cost. So, in the meantime, we have talked to Louisville and we can fill bottles at Louisville if we need to until we figure out what's going on.
So it's not working at all?
It is not coming up to pressure. It only will come up to 3,000 and should be going to 4,500.
Didn't we
Okay.
just do a lot of work on that?
They just did a PM on it.
Okay,
No, but when they came in to do it, they
They
said
said it's on this
it's
last
on
leg.
its last legs.
okay.
Okay.
Mhm.
And is it, it's a special compressor, correct?
Mhm.
It's not just to go to the store and buy an air compressor?
Nope. No, but, so they're supposed to come in and look at it and let me know.
How often are we filling those tanks? And how often are we
How long
running
we fill
those?
bottles?
The bottles?
Usually after either a fire or a training is when we're filling multiple bottles,
Alright.
and that makes it so we need to.
So we're going to,
compress
we're
it.
going to Louisville to fill if we have to.
For now, we would, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Did we, real quick before we move on from that, did we talk about, I mean, I know this system was used when we got it.
Mhm.
Had we talked about looking into another used system, or we talked about looking into, is the brand new one, so.
I have some prices for both.
So is that pricing gonna scare us?
Yeah, I think so. I think
I
a
think
used
so.
or refurbished one will scare you less. I can definitely bring those numbers
Let's do that next meeting.
to the next
Look at
meeting.
that, okay, all right, thank you.
How is the new guy working out? Did he get started then?
He did. He came in his first day. I had someone call off and he worked with Dan. So
Okay,
Everything went
hit the
smooth.
ground
hit the
running.
ground running.
Yeah, thankfully he's somebody who's worked other places for a long time.
Great.
And so I was there for a few hours in the morning. We did stuff and drive the trucks and stuff and
Yeah.
he's working.
Just let you know, trustees and chief, it's the first hire that I got all the paperwork, all
I'm
the
getting
first time.
I'm getting that.
Well, that's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's really
That's
good. It makes
really
my
good.
job easier.
That's really good. Could you, and I don't want to belabor the pump test you talked about in the last meeting. Can you just quickly run over that with me?
Yep, so every year our trucks, so the engine and tanker need to be pump tested.
Okay.
It's part of our
Yep.
ISO rating, it's part of all of
Does it
that.
also test the siphon that we fixed last year? Does it also test that?
No,
Or just the out?
It's just
Just the
testing
out.
pumps.
Okay,
Yep,
thanks.
so it's just
All right.
our annual pump testing.
Great.
The trucks had not gone yet, or I guess I should say they have not come to do it yet.
All right.
They have not come, but are they scheduled? Like, okay,
Mhm.
okay.
So I guess let's figure out what,
Well, I had the purchase order for that, and like I talked to you earlier, I was a little confused on some of the other ones.
Yeah.
We'll look into that, see
Yeah.
which ones are which, so I
Okay.
got them all figured out.
okay.
Okay, thank you.
The other thing that we had talked about before this past chief's meeting, we, Stark County Sheriff's Department came out and talked about marks. Cause we, fiscal officer Lowry and I had kind of gone back and forth and I said, they told us we have 25 radios, we have 24. We have a consulate at CENTCOM that is ours, that we will have to pay for. That's where number 25 is. I legitimately
That
did not
explains a lot.
Know that? I asked at that meeting and I was
So
like.
we have one radio that doesn't,
Yeah.
we're not, we don't touch
It's,
and we
yeah,
pay for
it
it.
is at CENTCOM.
Is
Okay.
that going to change? Because CENTCOM is getting their own setup, right?
So they are working on changing some stuff. I'm not 100% sure on what. They will still have that one that belongs to us. So as I was doing our counting and counting again and couldn't come up with 25,
There it was.
that's where 25 is.
Ding.
So,
Were you able to get the identification numbers like you did on all the other ones?
so
Okay.
yeah, that's all sitting on my desk,
Okay.
what the sheriff's department gave me. So,
Great, thank you. Because that building's gonna start after the first of the
Yeah.
year. I just want to make sure we have that all, our ducks in a row.
Anything else for fire? Great.
I just had a question. I don't know where, I was talking to the superintendent after school because you guys were on that false alarm.
Yep.
And he said he wasn't complaining, he was just saying there was a breakdown in dispatch. Was it our dispatch or?
No.
or-
So I actually went back in and talked to him and the delay was between their person that monitors their system and that initial call to Silco.
Okay.
Cause I backtracked all the times on that. Because legitimately someone from the school was calling my cell phone at the same time that we were getting toned out. And so I was like, all right, let me see what I can do. And so as I backtracked, the delay was between, there is a physical person like monitoring their system.
Yeah.
which is like the same for the fire station, wherever. And so when the alarm went off in the duct at the school, that person had to like, oh, hey, this is going off. They call Silco. Silco calls our dispatch, and our dispatch tones us out. So that is the process.
Okay.
So that's where it was. But yeah, we did backtrack that. It's not specifically on our end. So he was gonna look into that on their end with who monitors it. And yeah, I did talk to the superintendent.
So how much delay was there?
I think they said they were outside for like 2 or 3 minutes before they called me. So it was at least that much of a delay between the alarm system at the school going off and
Kids
like
getting out.
us getting that.
That's the day it was raining. They
It
were all
was the day it
standing
was
They were
pouring
soaking.
cats and dogs.
Bunch of kids were
Oh,
playing.
yeah, it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they called for an ambulance, that wouldn't go through their
Nope.
monitor, so that
Nope.
should eliminate that
Yep.
issue.
Yeah, it would be different.
Yeah, their
Because it
alarm
was-
system went off. Yeah,
Mhm.
right.
Yeah, so because it was a sensor and a duct that went off, it alerted their like panel, and there's
Mhm.
somebody on Silco's end, a person that watches
Yep.
it, and then calls them and says, hey, there was an alert, and they say, oh, okay, and they call Centcom.
Our person's in Cleveland when it goes off at our place.
So
All right,
that's where that was.
Okay.
thanks for checking.
I'd like to go on record and thank our team. We had a situation out at our family farm for a rehearsal, and it was emotional, and there was a lot of family involved, and our team was amazing. Did a great job. There in 8 minutes, very professional. It's a lot of emotion when you got your whole family there. Something's going on. So I was very proud of our team. They did a great job, really great job. So thank you for what you guys do. All right, calls.
We ran 35 calls. I'm kind of proud of the fact that we assisted other people more than they had to come to
All right,
us.
good.
It's been a long time, so
All right.
that's great.
All right, thank you. Oh, right, before we move on, have we heard anything more about the ambulance that was gonna be finished and we might have had a shot at? Because we talked about going to see it. Can we still do that? They were talking about building, they were gonna let us know when it was built, I thought. What, it was a different company. It wasn't what we planned on. There was another company that called you and said, hey, you can buy our four-wheel drive chassis ambulance, and it'll be done before you can get yours.
The one that they had called us about was a diesel engine.
Oh, okay.
And
That
we
was the
decided we
difference.
were not,
Okay,
yeah.
that's fine. I
Yep.
was just curious on that. All right. Okay, moving along. Cemetery report.
I don't have a lot for you, other than I sold 2 lots this week. Got some money, turn in for that, and some
Great.
deeds that need signed.
Thank you.
Take the money, man.
Yeah.
Every day.
I'm happy with deeds, not the other part though.
Yeah.
Keep them.
Okay.
Pre-deeds, we'll say.
I don't want to mess this up. I signed one of those lines.
Been doing a little bit of work at Mapleton. I got all the footers poured for this fall and a few bushes trimmed and things cleaned up, and it's looking pretty good.
Just trustees, I'll let you know that money, cash money was $1,100, Jeff Collins. Just let you know. All right.
While we're in the middle of this, can I ask Amy one more thing in case you have to leave? Did you happen to get payment from that private party on that fireworks display?
Amy got it, the information off the run report. I had Sue and I worked it up, and it has been mailed to the Petros.
Okay.
I have not.
Don't ask me the exact amount, it's 6.25 hours for 2, but we're only charging hourly for both of them. So it'll probably be right around $600. I can't remember what it was, I apologize, but I know at the time I prepared it, I knew what it was, but
That's fine. I just wanted to make sure that.
it is prepared and has been mailed.
Right.
Anything else for
I
cemetery?
have nothing else.
Anything from the tree guy?
I will update you on as much as I know. His father, who is Mr. Dickerhoof, the pastor up at Union, okay? He didn't want to say it out a lot, but Tyler's in bad shape. He took a lift 75 feet high, trimming, And instead of usually a cylinder going out where you might come down so much slow, the cylinder where it's attached, the weld broke and it came right down hard.
Ooh.
And needless to say, he's both legs, he looked pretty bad shape.
Oh.
But he has a good prognosis. You know, the first thing he said is, "Can I walk again?" And he said, "Yeah."
Wow.
But we don't know how until he gets into therapy and all. But
Wow.
This is definitely gonna be a next year project for
yes,
us. And
yeah.
I think we
That's-
should
Yeah.
send a little,
Yeah.
get a little card off.
Yeah,
to him.
maybe do something.
But he's a you know dedicated guy, you know, and he has crews that help him. That I guess they've been helping doing some of his work on the side, helping out. So I look for maybe something even that he can come back and give us a hand with that with those guys.
Okay.
Can you drop a card to him or something?
yeah, we can do that.
All right, thank you. All right, road report.
All right, if the trustees have looked over the road report, and there are any questions you'd like to ask?
I'll say unfortunately, I was on my way home. 43 was bad, so I took a Westfall, which was a big mistake because a big tree fell the whole way across it and I had to get turned around and go back up around. And worse than that, I had to call our road superintendent. Hey, you're gonna have to come get this tree off our road. It was blocking the whole road.
So I'm glad they called you.
That's why I asked you if you had any calls.
Must have went pretty quick though, because he got back here in time. Which I thought about that, Stu, that whole hill going up through there, there's a ton of dead trees along there.
I know.
And they're all right on the road.
But I just went up through there today with the backhoe and the street sweeper and swept Westfall, Fair Hill, Hill Church, and then we had this storm.
Yeah,
It looks a mess.
I mean, because we have road right away, maybe we ought to think about taking some of them trees down that are sitting on the edge of the road.
You're talking about a lot of trees.
I know.
You don't have that
I
kind
may
of
have,
time.
I may have missed this last meeting. All the salt's in the shed. Is that
Oh,
correct?
yeah.
Yeah,
Great. Because last time I was here, the compiler
yeah,
was
there's
still
about
here.
1,000 ton in there
Right.
right now.
Great. That's awesome.
You picked up
1,000
a
tons.
piano
Drive
on
up there and
parts.
take a peek. It's stacked up there pretty good.
You picked up a piano. You must be strong.
You picked up a piano on Parks? An
Somebody
actual,
threw it out there, right there where that steep bank is, where it starts down over into Randy's field there.
did you do that, Randy?
I didn't even know he did it.
Could take-
So how'd you pick it up? Did you have?
Mini
You had to take the mini after you-
Crunch it, just crunch
crunch,
it,
went
just
into
crunch
pieces
it.
right up into the
Yeah,
550.
crunched it.
Nobody got to play any keys.
Oh, darn it. Okay.
It was not playable after I got
I bet
it.
it wasn't.
Was it ivory keys?
Didn't look.
You should have looked.
Hmm.
Did see him today, they started digging that ditch out there along the railroad bed. Up there towards where he cleaned the culverts out.
Oh, you mean
Yeah.
John? I mean Ray's up in there cleaning that dish? Oh,
I'm
I'll
not
have to
from
take a look at that.
I came through this morning and the track was sitting down there.
Good. I would think he was cleaning and he starts clear down your creek.
Oh, yeah, he was clear out.
So did the company come that did the sweeping of the other stone yet?
Yes,
Okay.
that was kind of
Looks like it broke down.
yeah, it broke down a couple times.
Went back to
First
work.
2 days, finally brought the good truck the third day last Friday, and we was able to get what I thought was enough done. I
Okay.
didn't use the whole $3,500.
So how much stone did we get?
I don't know. I'd have to go out there and look at it and judge it.
How many times did he dump?
I didn't keep track.
Okay.
We were
I
dealing
love
with breakdowns and everything. I was quite irritated the first 2 days. He told me he wasn't gonna be broke down like he was 2 years
I was
ago.
gonna say he was broke
He
down.
broke down more this year than he was 2 years ago. He had to keep sending the truck back to the garage and them coming out and working on it.
So maybe we don't want to do this again.
I'm not using him again.
Yeah.
We'll go somewhere else. Try to
Okay.
look.
Okay, anything else for the road?
The only thing like we did here, Brian, made a big list out for filters, oil filters, fuel filters and transmission filters and stuff like that. And called Federated and had them make us out a big list of stuff. That's for all the tractors, the trucks, and the Durapatcher. Which, I mean, we don't have to get all this right now, but we just wanted to get a quote at least made up of all the different stuff. Because I'm gonna wanna make sure we got the engine oil change in the big trucks for winter and my transmission on both of them, because my truck's the one that had the problem with the transmission shifting.
So you've got filters and the physical
Well,
oil,
we got
hydraulic
oil, we got engine
You've
oil
got a
and
lot of that
hydraulic,
stock.
but
Okay. What's your total there?
well, total for all that stuff comes to $1,463.
If you,
That's probably not counting transmission fluid, but
if
if we don't have the money for all that right now, we can at least try to go ahead and get the stuff for the two big trucks. That's what I'm most.
I mean, are you gonna order, I mean, we're putting in a big order and get it all. If we have the money to do it all, I mean, you'll probably get to some of it here through the winter, you know.
Stu, this is normal maintenance. We gotta get it done.
Oh, I know,
Whether you
yeah.
do it over the next month.
I'd say,
Yeah.
if we have the funds, I'd say you just get it and go.
Have you ever priced it through Napa? They have a sale on now and they will catalog it. So next year when you call, they will know exactly what you need. And they're in East Canton. They're in our area. Now, price-wise, maybe they won't be in mine. I don't know,
Yeah.
but I think.
They have more big truck stuff than you realize.
They've got filters for everything.
Yeah, they do.
You can get any filter.
Yeah, Denny goes there.
You can go from a motorcycle to a dump to a semi. They love it. They can get it.
We can go up there with the same
But I was
numbers.
just in the.
Yeah, I mean, you
gate
could
and I
walk in and
seen-
just hand that to them and say, hey, what, price this for us.
Right.
Not gonna take you, not gonna take you
He
anymore.
has all the numbers and stuff right
Right.
here. He can just take it up there and we'll hold on to this from Federated and go see
Can-
the price.
can
Right
we-
now, I think they're having a fall filter sale, so it's
Really?
10% off.
Can we do up to 1,500, Brian, so that once he decides if Napa, we can get him ordered? I'd rather you
It
get
just-
him ordered.
I'd rather see that money go into the maintenance to keep them all up in
Yeah.
good shape.
Yeah.
Because like I told Stu, you know, being we filled the salt shed, we did a big purchase there this year. It's different than in past years. Past years, I was always sitting back and we were kind of putting a Band-Aid on things till the end of the year. This year, we went ahead and got that salt shed, which is the first time we ever filled it. And I'm sitting here looking, and it looks tight for the next 3 months, you know, on our, you guys give me the ability to move line item, modify them within a fund. And I can do little things if we happen to have something major, but I do have enough money and then some for maintenance issues.
Napa will deliver them to you, no charge.
No, it's not that far.
Let's,
No,
Let's go
Sure.
get lunch.
yeah, right. Trustee Very moves to pay up to $1,500 to purchase filters for the vehicles. And we're gonna also look into Napa's possibility.
We can do that.
Go with the best price. Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
Uh,
Great. Say yes to that. That's a lot of work to get all those filters changed. Thank you. It's important. All right, anything else? Any other money you need to spend? Oh, that was great. Good answer. All right, moving on. All right.
Don't
Okay.
say that.
Don't say that. Don't say that to Stewie. Still looking at that, looking for that mini hoe, right? Looking for that new mini. All right, let's move on to the zoning report.
Since the last meeting, I had 2 permits issued, one for addition, one for a new house.
Oh, good.
The new house is kind of like across the street and behind the house that's across from the one on our nuisance list on Indian Run.
Really? Say that again. Where's the new house?
So
Oh, I
across
know
the
that
street
property that sold from
and
that
behind.
estate.
So,
No. Okay. Has that Indian Run nuisance house been quiet lately?
I haven't heard anything on it. I know
Okay.
when I drove by today, there was a pile of pallets and some boxes and stuff in the yard. I know Brenda called me, somebody called her about them building a wall
They-
in front of the second driveway there.
Yes, I went past today with the backhoe.
But it's not
That
really-
driveway where the camper was backed in,
What kind of wall?
I'd say only about 2 feet off the road, they got this big, they took big cement blocks and made this wall about 5 feet tall across there, kind of tapering off on the side.
It's cement blocks, so it
Cement
can be
blocks.
moved.
They're just stacked. Not
They're
mortar,
stacked.
just
No,
stacked.
they're
Just
stacked.
stacked.
They're just stacked on top of the ground
I think
across
there's
there.
a
What's it
post
blocking?
straight down.
I thought it was awful close to the road.
It is pretty close.
They're really close to the road. If they fall over and end out in the road, someone's gonna tear their car up.
Yeah, sure.
Hitting them.
Well, it's
40,
better than
50.
the bumper of the dump truck that was sitting out
They're
there.
like the 3x3x6.
I don't know about
Oh,
that.
they're the big ones.
The 2x2x6s.
They're the big concrete ones.
They're big.
They're big blocks.
They're big block. They're bigger
They're
than
not.
that normal.
They're not.
It's not a regular cement block, they're yellow,
They're a little bit bigger.
yellow brown color.
Okay.
But
They're really close to there.
I did see them mowing the other day when I drove past.
No, they've been keeping the grass down,
They've
looking
been doing
pretty
a good
decent.
job mowing.
They have been cleaning up stuff other than what I saw today.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
I just don't know where all the trash comes from.
I've been out that way numerous times and told Mary when I've talked to her different times how it does look better.
Yeah.
A lot better than what it did.
Like I said, I haven't heard anything new on it.
Okay.
Over on Swollen, I heard back from the neighbor there. The concrete was poured. I don't know how long ago it was poured, but the vehicles are still in the yard.
Yeah. I'll
So-
find out.
I was gonna contact the owner and see kind of what's going on when he has plans of moving stuff.
Okay.
Over on the Ravenna without the permit, I reached out to the building department, waiting to hear back, see kind of what their next move is. See what we can do about it.
Pole building or house?
Pool building,
Did we get any answers on the one on 44 that built?
that's the,
That's it.
Oh, so we don't have any answers yet on that.
not yet.
Do we know if it crossed the property line too?
I don't know for sure. It's pretty close to it, from what I can tell.
He looks like he's still moving dirt around it and outside of it and inside of it yet. Cause they had like piles of dirt dumped there off to the side of the front of the garage.
I haven't heard of him getting any permits from anyone.
And the building department hasn't responded?
Not yet.
Okay.
At least our nuisance list seems to be dwindling down a little bit, so.
absolutely.
I received a call from the Lentz on the house on the corner up, I can't, with 3849 Clover Ridge or whatever it is. Anyway, they are putting new windows in this house.
Is that the one?
Is this a burn house?
Yes.
Oh.
And they called the building department to see if they got a permit. And they said they didn't need a permit unless they were changing the size. Well, apparently they were changing the size of some they were cutting block. So I told her I'd ask. So you have not heard nothing?
Last time I talked to the building department, they said as long as they don't cut into the foundation, they don't need a permit.
I say I've never heard of having to get a permit to change your window.
If you change the size, I guess. But, well, I don't know what you want to do with it. According to them, they changed the size on two of them.
But you're saying they told you as long as they don't go into the foundation.
Yeah, that was a month or two ago when I talked to the building department, when they cut the hole in the wall of the house.
I would say that the house that's been boarded up for all these years, putting windows in is a step in the right direction, I'd hope.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
let them
nobody
keep
wants to
going.
stop it.
Yeah, well, don't stop it. Don't stop it.
No, they don't want to stop it. They just want to make sure they got a permit.
Yeah, right. That's right. Okay.
I'm just relaying the message.
I'm just a messenger.
Don't kill the messenger.
That's right.
We can do your other, when we do the new business. Okay.
I have a quick question, or I've got another don't kill the messenger situation. On the Board of Zoning Appeals, on the shipping container houses and cabins, where I see that it's tabled. Is there discussion on that currently?
Not currently, I'm waiting for the one applying to
Okay,
get back to me.
all right.
I did
So-
receive an email from a resident over there.
Yeah, I got probably the same phone call. So I got a phone call from a Broadway resident. Their concern is that they're pitching this shipping container and cabin as a short-term rental Airbnb, and they feel that they're going to put transient folks that are looking for a home, like low income housing. So their concern is that, I guess, they're concerned they're telling us one thing and they're going to do a different thing. I don't know how the community's talking about this, but the resident that called me said, "Hey, be careful there because what they're telling you they're going to do and what they're planning on doing is two very different things." So,
Well, it was tabled from the BZA for what reason?
To look into right away through the driveway there, just see if there was anything about that.
okay.
Um,
Do you know how many total units they're planning on building?
I think it was 6
Okay.
around the pond,
And
and then one big
Did
one.
they tell you if it's? I mean, it's got to be commercial septic by that point. It's commercial.
That's, yeah, when they talk to the Stark County Health Department, they mentioned it would have to be commercial, but that's as far as they got on it.
Okay. All right.
And maybe the complaint that you received is something you should just turn into the health department. Because if it's permanent residents, then they're required road frontage and everything else, and it's taxed different and everything else. So let the county take care of that issue.
Okay.
Okay.
Let them look into it more. Sometimes I think people think, I'll just do it, and what are they gonna do after the fact? Like the guy who built the building, which is probably across the property line and without permits. What are they gonna do once I build the building? Come tear it down?
I know the email I got was concerning the driveway there, just because it's narrow.
Oh, it's a
There ain't a whole lot
it's
of
a
room.
1-lane car driveway. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Anything else for zoning?
That's all I have right now.
Great. All right, seeing that there's no old business, let's move on to new business. Trick or treat. It's important stuff right there.
And trustees, this is the time of the year where you set the time and date for our township. We usually coordinate with the village, and that date and time frame is what the village of East Canton is doing.
Okay.
And that's what we normally do the Sunday. And we don't want them out on a school night.
Okay.
So that is Sunday,
Is that
October 30th.
a motion?
Trustee Carroll moves to accept October 30th, 2022 from 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. for the trick or treat.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye. I will make note that the Rotary Halloween party
Oh, yeah.
is set for the Thursday before,
27?
and it'll be at the Smith, isn't it? Yeah, it's at the Smith on the 27th,
Okay.
We should have
Not the
those
Fultz.
already.
not the Folk Center. But it's too many kids.
Yeah, it was getting pretty crowded.
Yeah.
I
it's
mean,
gonna
they
be-
use the whole gym floor, and it's still packed.
You know, I'm sorry, what time did you say that was?
I didn't.
Okay.
I think it's at 7.
Sounds good. Okay.
And see, last time we've been doing, the last couple of years because of COVID, we've been doing the drive-through or walk-through
Yeah.
outside.
Yeah.
This would be the first time we're
You're
putting it
back
back
in.
in.
Okay. All right. Approval to release road levy portion of 27,301.72 to Village of East Canton.
Trustees, this is the second half payment that the township receives, that we put the share of the money that goes to the village. I get that from our auditor, and then I get the whole spreadsheet of what it is, and then I prepare that, and I did prepare that for tonight. But I always ask for a formal resolution to issue it and then send it to the
Trustee Varian moves to pay $27,301.72 to the Village of East Canton.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, American Rescue Advertisement 283.
advisement.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's right. Did I
Apologize.
spell it wrong?
No, I read it wrong. It's advisement. No, it's good. You're right. You're right.
Back when American Rescue money come in, I asked the trustees that Baker Dunbar, I think I'm saying it right, they were representing a lot of Stark County when it come to that on any advisement, because they did the seminars that I went to at the auditor's office, and you had approved them their hourly rate. We weren't sure what it was, but you can use American Rescue money to pay for that fee. And that fee, up to date is $283. And I just asked for approval to pay that.
Trustee Bureau moves to pay Baker Deblacar attorneys for American Rescue advertisement at cost $283 out of American Rescue Fund.
Trustee Varian, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Great.
Thank you.
Okay, we have the SCOG that we have next.
Yeah, Star
Okay.
Council Government.
Yes.
Brian, were you able to, did you get that?
Yeah.
Which one am I going after? I'm going after the
SCOG.
Yeah.
I'll go after the SCOG first.
Sure.
So as much as I know is that they're looking to change the funding formula from the Department of Transportation, Ohio Department of Transportation, between all townships, villages, and cities.
Okay.
The funding formula they've used was, maybe you can help me, it wasn't based on population, it was based on,
It was based on population, but there was some stuff that they had did earlier that it wasn't totally about population. And so now this
Yeah.
new adjustment.
it's just on
Purely
population.
Purely population, so it's more accurate, and reflective of the townships and
It is.
jurisdictions.
And so, and while you're sitting there, I'll just tell you what my comment is while Brian's pulling it up.
Is this the one you were looking at, or what do we want me to pull up? So I make sure I get the right. I've got
You wanna pull
four
that up?
things.
Yeah, this page.
Can you scroll up to that PDF? Yeah, try that.
This
That
one,
PDF's probably gonna have,
Yeah, scroll down. It's probably near the end.
it's gonna have that.
The only
spreadsheet in it.
issue I have with basing it on population is that it is fair when you talk how much money it is per person. But the rural part of the county has less people automatically because particularly our township, we're heavy farmers. And so we have less room to have people because we're farming and producing food.
She's looking for-
But yet the township is gonna get less because we have less people
Mhm.
based on population. It just seems like where it's almost,
Can you turn that? Yeah.
almost a penalty to not be an urban area.
So from my understanding, and I'm not the, Chris Nichols, who's the
Yes.
fiscal officer of SCOG, is better suited to explain, but it's still like, it's based off of the population and other factors. And so one township might be paying a certain amount per person and another township will be paying a lesser amount. And so I think all of what you're saying is contemplated in the formula. So let's say, for example, Plain Township is a little bigger and whatnot. They're still gonna, their contribution is gonna be more per person, but the services that SCOG will provide, like the crime lab, the things that you guys contribute, will still get the same service. It wouldn't be slighted or anything like that. It would just be more reflective of how many people that's within, Osnaburg, the township, and more accurately fair, because the other model wasn't necessarily fair. For example, I believe the village of Hills and Dales, because there was a balancing act that they had to do maybe 20 years ago,
Right.
they had an excessively large amount that they were paying per person that wasn't accurate or fair. And so what Chris did was basically make it accurate and fair across the board. So, like I said, he would probably be the better individual to come and explain, because prosecuting and focusing on laws is my area of expertise. But
Well, I think it's better than what they had. I just don't know that it's really fair when it's based on just, because I was under the understanding the new model is just based on population. And if it's just based on population, we are definitely going to have much less population in our rural communities.
I'm gonna see if I can pull up the new model real quick.
He's got it up here on the screen.
Yeah, we've got, yeah. If you want to, look at it, can you turn that TV so I can see it. No. Is this what you're talking about, buddy?
Yes.
Okay, great. That's what we're all looking at the same thing then.
I came
Gotcha.
prepared.
Great.
All right, so,
No, go ahead.
You can walk
oh
over.
yeah, come on, sit right here. So this shows, the other way, you can zoom the other way, click the other button, the plus.
Is the LGF/prop, is that what we pay or pop this column?
This is the population, how much per person.
Let's scroll over.
Yeah, how much what we receive?
Revenue we'll get from the
It's on the top. It's
Ohio Department of Transportation, or what we pay.
Keep going.
This is what we pay.
Keep going up, it's weird. Townships are first.
Well,
There you
there
go. There you go.
Plainton paid 9. We're paying less
So the
30.
townships. There you go, current gross.
We seem to be one of the higher ones, until you get down here.
This is actually, it's what the revenue we're gonna receive.
No,
From,
I was under the impression it was what you would contribute to SCOG.
to pay for their, yeah, you're
Yes.
correct.
Yes.
12.37%.
So we're gonna contribute,
We're already paying now.
Right.
That was
Right.
last year, I don't know what
Right.
2022 is.
Yeah. it is.
So there's another that it better compares the numbers, and I mean, that might be it right there. Proposed new gross.
proposed net,
That's
proposed,
what it's gonna
yeah.
end up being.
1130.
So this, in the green on the very far right, it has the cash value. So it's $5,452 per population is what we'll pay SCOG, correct? There's the cash value there.
That's next year.
Yeah, that's 2023. That's right.
Yeah. Well,
Five-
it's not approved yet. It'll be approved to go for 2023.
See, like Marlboro Township, two above it, it's 10,000. Nimishillen in the middle is 31,000. So you can see the difference in sizes. Nimishillen's way bigger than we are.
And you'll see down, if you glance at Hillsdale's village, you'll see where they were paying 58.
Oh, yeah, I see.
per-
Well, they're the only
and
red.
then theirs is going down, pretty much cut in half, because it's more accurate and reflective of that.
Gotcha. Yeah, I saw the Hillsdale had a negative and a red, and everyone else was green. Yeah,
Yep.
Yeah, they were
Yeah,
the
yeah.
only one.
they were getting.
And it has something to do with 23, there is an increase. They factored in the increase that we would have.
Gotcha.
So it makes the impact of the change less.
Okay.
It was only 250 people. It was the
Yeah.
smallest. Well,
But I will agree that Chris Nichols worked on it for a long, long time. He's trying to make it more fair. So this is better than what we had.
And
So-
if I may, and hopefully I'm not out of order, but they're more than likely are going to come back with, so I've been pushing for us to get, in the crime lab, we don't have DNA testing in our crime lab. They got rid of it a few years back because of finances and whatnot. However, we've been seeing that juries want DNA. Like they've watched enough Law and Order and CSI, and they want DNA evidence to prove that people are guilty. We had a case where two ladies called Jackson police, called them out, said, hey, X, Y, and Z, these things are happening. This guy has a gun, he has drugs. There was, I believe he hit one of them. I'm not sure exactly all the details. However, they found him with the bag that the girls described, with the drugs and gun in it, which they described, and the jury said, found him not guilty
There's no DNA.
because there's no DNA. You guys didn't test for DNA. Well, we don't normally test for that DNA. It's called constructive possession. You're the only one in the car with it.
Yeah. By virtue.
And so we see that in regular juries as well as grand jury, they want it. So I've been pushing and asking for us to get DNA back, and we have a lot of police support as well as other townships that are pushing as well, in support of it as well. So just be, aware.
Because
that
it'll
we
be
might
another
coming back.
increase for the DNA though.
Yeah, but it's gonna be slight, it's not gonna be as.
I think everyone was in support of it
Okay.
there. I did hear them say that the state, because now you send it to the state.
Yeah,
And-
BCI,
Yeah,
yes.
the state's so backlogged that sometimes they have lost things because they haven't been able to get their DNA back.
And
They're still
then part
We
of
wait
it
a long
is,
time.
they won't do DNA if the case isn't like a serious crime, like a crime of violence where there's a murder or whatnot. If it was just possession and an F3 or something like that, they wouldn't necessarily
Okay.
do DNA.
Well, I
testing.
will, not that you were aware, because it was before you, remind you that we're still waiting on a double homicide in our township yet to be solved
Oh, wow.
on
Okay.
2 elderly couples. So,
Okay, well, we can chat side, I mean, do we know where it's at? Is it still just with the police or has it been sent to us, to our
no,
office?
I think it's still sitting with Sheriff Meyer, but
So,
it's,
okay,
it's been what, 6-8 years? And
yeah, at least, okay.
we had another one before that, but they did finally solve that one.
Okay.
And that was another very violent murder. Both of them were very violent, both incidents. And we're a rural township, so this is,
All right.
so.
So do you need to make a move at your next meeting? Do we need to make a motion? What do we?
When we meet again, and SCOG is October, maybe, no, December. When we
Yes.
meet again,
Okay,
they want a vote. And they
Okay.
said they may try to do it before then, maybe.
Yeah, because, I mean, what they have to have, I believe, is either 65% or 70% of
Okay.
all
Yeah.
of the townships approve it, and then it'll get approved
okay.
for the jurisdiction.
And I think the vote has to occur before that meeting. I thought I'm not positive, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
So if they come and say, Brenda, what's your guys' vote? And you guys need to tell me what you want to do.
Okay. Do we want to solve that now or are we
I
gonna?
do,
Okay. What's our
unless you
vote
have more
gonna be?
questions. I mean, we're just
Do we-
one in that whole pot there.
Sure, I understand. Do we have any idea what we paid? Do we have any idea of the comparison?
You paid 11, it's,
It should
looks like
be
we're
in
going up
there.
20 cents
Yeah.
Oh,
per person. That's
20 cents per person. Okay,
We were paying 11.30 and it looks like it's gonna be 11.35, it's gonna be 11.55.
okay.
25 cents.
There you go. 25 cents per person.
Yeah, we was 11:30, now we're going up to 11:55.
Gotcha.
And the other thing, I was at the SCOG meeting was they, the crime lab has people not taking vacation and just getting paid for it. And my question was, why are we allowing them to not do their vacation? Because it's unhealthy to not use your vacation. You're supposed to use it. But my point, which I didn't finish saying, was that maybe they need another employee there. If they have that much work that they're, not getting done,
I'm so overloaded.
yeah, if they're that overloaded, they might be understaffed.
It's hard to get, I mean, some people are willing to go and take vacation. I mean, even in my office, some people just, if they just don't have anywhere to go, they'd just rather not be at home. They rather work.
Yeah,
And generally, I'm the same way. If I'm at home, it's really hard for me to work from home, or it's really hard for me to just take up a day off and just sit at home. I usually, like when I came back from vacation in June, I had Monday and Tuesday off. We got back Sunday. I took Monday off, but I couldn't stay home because I was bored.
You knew that emails would be too deep.
And
Too
so
deep.
I just went back, to the office,
Right.
so.
All right.
So I think part of that is not necessarily just people being overworked, it's just some people just don't, and so if I could just save the money and just get paid the money rather than,
Right.
go on vacation, that is an alternative to it.
I would say that I think someone has put a lot of energy and thought into this. I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's
that was
going
Chris
down.
Nichols.
So I don't think it's going down. So if we vote no, I don't think that matters. So I would say play nice and sandbox and say yes. That's what I would say. But
Trustees, have you had a chance to read over the prepared one? I mean, we can tweak it, the resolution. This is what's going to give Brenda.
Yeah, we have to do it by resolution.
They put this one for resolution for townships in here.
so this is their blanket resolution that they give you to fill out. Okay.
email I sent you.
It's a long one.
So long.
So is the form that Brian has, is that acceptable, or do we need to? We
It
can
says
delay
on
it
there
till the
that,
next meeting.
it says there on the fiscal officer side that I can, if there's a wording or something that you can.
You're allowed to adjust it.
What it says in there, let me just see here, I read it here when I was going through. Yeah, it says further that the fiscal officer, clerk of board is authorized to correct any typographical errors discovered herein during or after the pending and or passage of the resolution. Further authorized in conjunction with the advice of additional legal counsel to correct any. So you got some leeway when I read that over.
Yeah, let's just table it to our next meeting.
Okay.
That's only a couple weeks, and I'll give you a chance to read through it, Brian. And then we can vote on it then.
All right, layered zoning.
Okay.
Is this what you
Are good with
need?
that?
Yeah.
You need to be on the computer. Here, hold yourself.
So Mary, you jump in and help with this. So this is where we've been paying the consultant to work with our zoning commission as we're looking at trying to bring, Mr. Stone, if you want to look, you might want to sit up here so you can see the zoning into or the economic development into our corridors. We're unique in that we have State Route 30, State Route 172, State Route 44. All three of those routes intersect in our township. And so with the potential movement forward of State Route 30, we're trying to get a little bit ahead of the game here. And are working with the consultant who's done this for many years, advised us to do both State Route 172 and 130 at the same time.
Okay.
So is that whole thing on there?
Can you scroll down a little
The
bit?
dark green, the top one that we're looking at is 172.
Yep.
And so what the zoning commission has decided to do is make available what we call layered zoning, which is not changing our current zoning, but it's putting what's the easy way for me to say is a second choice, we'll call it up in the cloud, where if you meet certain criteria that the zoning commission has established, and that is to allow you to have a business there is what it does. You can choose to go into the cloud zoning. You have to apply for it with an application, and you have to be approved by the zoning commission to be able to do certain things. They've only allowed certain things to happen in this area, and not all parcels. So they've identified these parcels here that would be eligible for layered zoning if the homeowner, property owner of that parcel decided to do that. Scroll down once, Mary, so they can see the Route 30 then. And it goes from the eastern side of the village to our township border, except when isn't it 30 that goes into Robertsville or 172?
Mhm.
30. We didn't go clear into Robertsville because our township border is actually inside Robertsville.
Yeah, township
So
goes all the way.
Works Avenue splits it.
Yep.
We ended up short of that. We didn't want to bother that setup there. So, and also where Sindel goes, some of this is already zone business.
Yeah, the Sindel section
Yeah,
was old 30, so it's probably,
it's already zone business.
yeah.
But with new 30 coming through, or even the existing 30 that's there, if some of those longer skinny parcels, which would not be approved through regional planning now, they've made their changes where the distance, width and distance of lots, not to get these long skinny parcels anymore.
What's the golf course zoned? Do we know?
It is zoned
It's
rural
residential.
residential,
Is it? Okay.
and there's a section of it there's a section that's different.
Okay.
See, I thought that they should have been grandfathered in, but evidently they were a little past that time because they had to come in front of
Yeah, to build their building.
to build their building.
Yeah, which they're building, looking good.
Yeah.
So this is getting ready to go off to the process, or this is getting ready to go off to regional planning.
It is. They've
Okay.
worked on this for, what, a year and a half now.
Great.
And it has a document that goes with it listing the criteria and stuff. They just wanted you to see this map and get some feedback from you before they send it. And Mary, can you go through that timeline?
So, once they make a resolution to send it to regional planning, they have 30 days to have a hearing on it here and vote, and then it's sent over to you guys, and then you guys vote, and then
Who's invited to the hearing? Everybody in the township?
public, yeah.
Okay.
These are where the trustees, they can approve it, modify it, and those options on
Yeah.
And, since it's over 10 parcels, you don't have to send out letters to everyone.
It could just be a public
It's
announcement.
public
I was gonna say, are you gonna send a letter to every resident?
No.
Okay.
Why is it so narrow on the north side of 30 and so large on the south side?
It's just the shape of those parcels.
Over there by Sam Crable's where the other section of Sindel is.
Oh, it pumps back in. Comes
Yeah.
back
Yeah,
in.
it comes back down and it goes back out.
Where's Evening Star?
Evening Star is.
Oh, it's back pretty far. Can you put your arrow on it?
Over here somewhere.
It's not very far down.
Yeah.
44.
Yeah, I think it's down even a little further.
Yeah.
You
What-
can enlarge
what's
that, Mary.
What's that big chunk, Mary, right next to your cursor there? What's that
Go ahead
big,
and keep enlarging it.
there you go. What's that big chunk just east of town that's not in the green?
That is the demolition site.
Oh, that's
And we're not including them
it.
intentionally.
C and D.
We
This
don't want them
part,
to be able to do anything different than what they're currently doing.
this part where the
Ah,
mouse
it's
is
all the way
by Fresco.
Yep,
Yeah.
okay. Yep, okay.
And I think they
Gotcha.
actually have one parcel that may sit inside the village, though it's not demolition site, but they own it.
Okay. Great.
So we didn't start it on that site till after that demolition site.
I see what you're doing there with that.
And I will tell you, along the demolition site that you're looking at on the far east side, that if you go down to 30, that new 30 ramp is gonna loop up in there on the demolition site with ground. And then a road's gonna be established. Mary, you put your cursor on 44?
On 44.
Yeah. So,
That's where they're making the roundabout there then.
yeah.
So,
But see the white line on the right side, east side of the demolition site? They're supposedly going to put a road from the end of that ramp and run the edge of that demolition site over to 172, which is part of the reason why they're doing both 172 and 30 at the same time. So if they do that road, so people coming up 172, truck traffic can then get on 30 and same from 30. They'll all turn and go on that road that's running between there to hit that ramp. So they're not going to bring that ramp out to 44. That ramp's going to end and you're going to come to a stop and have to turn right or left to go to 30 or go to 44.
I see.
But they're gonna make a road from 172 to the new 30. Is
From
what you're
172
saying.
to the old 30.
Right, but it's gonna cut through there.
Yes.
They're gonna.
So,
they're
Where's
gonna-
it cutting through?
It's going to run the edge of that property of the demolition site.
Okay, right there
On
where
the
you get off.
demolition
I
site.
call it C and D disposal, because that's what.
Yeah,
that is.
C&D, whatever it is.
So he's willing to make a road from there clear across over to 172.
Correct.
Cut through.
I don't know.
I don't know if
And
there's a
is that gonna be a
roundabout.
township road?
I believe that'll be a township.
That'd probably be a county road.
Oh, it could be.
That's gonna be a big road. That ain't gonna be no-
Whereabouts
Township road.
Yeah.
south of East Canton,
You're gonna have heavy truck traffic on that thing.
if and when 30 goes through, south of East
Dumping on
Canton,
Mitty.
crosses Lincoln Way and travels down it, correct?
I know, it doesn't go that
Nobody
far.
going
Doesn't go
to
that far.
East
It ends up here.
It ramps up in there, right about there, and you're going to,
Where 44 goes south, which is there.
well, above the green, go
Yeah.
above, it's gonna be there.
Yeah.
Okay, so it goes south of East Canton, comes up across Lincoln Way and is up in this
And
area.
there's your
And then this is what you're saying splits off
Yes,
to go to 44 and Old 30.
yes.
I got you.
And they've already
Gotcha.
acquired all of the properties.
Yeah.
I think they haven't paid yet for.
Because it's
3
the
or
back
4.
of a lot of these parcels, isn't it?
Well,
this
this
is
will
good.
be fun for me to plow. in the wintertime.
This is gonna be tremendous for our township, because everything that's in East Canton, Bell stores, all that, is all gonna move out there, and East Canton's dead.
It's not gonna, it didn't do that in Hartville.
This is different than Hartville. Go drive out where they put 30 past the bypass out there by Lau and Young, see what that looks like down to there. It's dead. There's nobody gonna go into East Canton. All the business is gonna come into us. Right down that corridor.
I would agree with Randy that East Canton's going to slow way down.
Well,
You're going to bypass it.
Why would you?
Everyone
drive
that gets
East
off here and
Canton?
goes south.
there's
Go
certain
east, I'm
things that
sorry, east
people
and
like
south.
that they're gonna keep
Yeah.
driving there for, certain restaurants.
Really,
and
what are they
things
gonna
like
miss
that.
in East Canton by not getting off at East?
Hey,
Subway's a good restaurant.
That Bell store has the highest beer sales in all Star.
Yeah, well, that Bell stores ain't gonna stay there.
That and the one that's right on.
They have the highest
You know-
beer sales.
Yes.
All of Star
Sorry.
County.
All Star County?
You know the other one that's
Well,
high
there you go. We're good for being alcoholic.
is Middle Branch and East End, that
Gee,
Speedway.
Minerva's the alcohol.
I wouldn't be happy about that.
Yeah, the other one is that Middle Branch Speedway out there that's going into Hartville, because Hartville's dry.
Yeah,
So
they'll
that
take
one
it down there.
stinks.
They darn right.
All right, so do we need to make a motion, or are we just bringing this before the group?
No, you don't need a motion. This is
Okay.
just for you to preview. Do you have
Okay.
any objections they want to know before they move forward with their timeline? And can you say what the timeline is then, Mary? Oh, you did once, but when is the public hearing? It's going to be at their November scheduled zoning commission would be the public
Yes.
hearing.
This
Third
November.
Monday. in
Okay.
November.
Yes.
So the only other question I have is like, where them white lines, those are all parcels?
Yeah, those
Yeah.
are parcel
Parcels.
lines.
Why, like, you have, I'm just curious.
What they did was any parcel touching Route 30 or Sindel, if it touched Sindel, they included it down to a certain point.
Like these, this is a parcel,
Yeah.
so why didn't these get included in?
Because they ended where Sindel come back out on 30. Well, Mary and I was talking, because the consultant did the coloring of the map. They might have wanted,
Maybe they did
Put
like,
your
I
finger
just,
on
I
there.
just want,
maybe they did like ownership. Maybe that last parcel we were talking about, Randy, the like ownership, maybe the same person owns all 4 of those.
oh, they
stacks.
do,
Yeah, that's like ownership.
yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go down farther where it's not colored,
Yeah.
right here.
right there, because Sindel comes out, see where Sindel comes out right there?
Right
Pokes them
here.
through.
Like that little one there could have been on there, that little square.
This is
triangle.
that park and ride or something's right in here, isn't it?
Oh, maybe that's why he didn't include it then.
It's further down. It's closer to the
Down
neighborhood.
there.
Yeah, it's across the street from the neighborhood down there. Yeah.
Oh,
It's-
Yep, it's right there.
It is included.
It is
Okay.
included. The parking lot is right. Yep.
Talking about that little pull off.
Yep. Right across.
The
from the-
directions to him was to
They're all
include
state
all
trucks,
parcels
so-
touching on the north side of Sindel until Sindel comes back down to 30. So he just didn't go quite the whole way with it.
They did that because they figured 30 be coming through there. So
Can you go up to 172?
Does our consultant have any idea of what regional planning is going to, does he give you an idea, like,
We've talked to regional
Just-
planning about
okay.
this probably 2.5 years ago,
yeah,
and they were gonna use him for some work, and then COVID hit, maybe 3 years ago.
okay,
So that's why everything's been on halt here because of COVID.
all right.
So they know the consultant, I'm just not sure.
Yeah, what
Our
their
regional planning
questions
is
are going to
really
be.
hard to move anything new.
How soon are they really thinking they're gonna get moving on this?
The
On what?
30?
Starting to extend.
Well, I'll tell you, because I sit on that committee too, as a representing the township. The Kirk Shearing, who's been working on that now, has been very successful in getting additional grants. And they have 3 grants sitting out there pending. And I believe they're supposed to hear from them in October. And if they get even 2 of those, they'll have enough money. Right now, they have
For the
committed,
whole 80-some million?
well, it's closer to 100 million with increased prices. They have 45 million committed right now.
Hmm.
So they have
There's a-
half of it.
It's moving up the line. Like, they're pushing hard to
Yeah,
get that section done.
Yeah, they are
It's
pushing
gonna
hard.
happen, I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure.
How
So-
long is that section? How long?
Oh.
it goes from Trump, Trump
Right,
Road.
Trump
It
Road.
comes clear down to 44 where you turn.
Oh, okay.
I'd say
Is
about
it a
a mile and a
mile?
half.
Is it a mile and a half?
Mile and a half,
Yeah.
maybe, at most,
Yeah,
probably.
Well, and if you really
Not
want to know,
I thought-
drive down
I mean, that's the way the crow
And look
flies,
across
but-
from Broadway there.
That's how they put it in,
Yeah,
basically. I think.
Yeah,
yeah, right.
So if you look at the light at Broadway, that staging area to the left, and you can see what they're doing in there.
well, they've been putting
They've been building
concrete.
that up and building it up.
Well, they've been putting concrete in there. They come in, load it up, take it in and out.
There's been some action there, yeah.
Yeah.
So one of the other
They're
things that
using
involves
some-
our township is we do have that mine on Osnaburg Street. And when they,
Yeah, right there where we filled it up.
yeah, they're getting close to doing that. That's one of the ones they're gonna come in and actually totally fill it in. Mine remediation there, they will do, that's on their schedule to do that mine.
Mhm.
And then
So
Osnaburg
they're
will
really
get shut
gonna tear
off.
that up.
Well, they're gonna close that street then.
Well, how are they not closing Wood Street? Because
It's
That
gonna
whole-
go over, it's gonna go over Wood, I think, isn't it over?
It's
Yes.
going over Wood Street.
Yeah.
It's going over.
Goes
No.
over
Yeah.
Wood Street.
Wood Street.
Wood Street's
going
not
what I'm saying is
no,
though, when they
Wood Street's
tear
going
into that-
over 30.
Oh,
when
it's
they
an
tear into
overpass,
that
not
mine,
underpass.
It's an
to make sure they got it fixed right, I'm saying that hole is only about 20 feet off the end of Wood Street there on Osborne.
Yeah.
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 Well,
So
they
they're
had
gonna-
engineers already look at, they're gonna fill the whole thing,
Hmm.
so. But Wood Street is going over top of 30.
I wish they just closed the whole thing.
I'm not sure what that's gonna be like to come off high and then go like that.
I still say they should have closed that road off and just make everybody come in from 30. That little short section would be nothing but a dumping ground.
Yeah.
With a
Everybody's-
little round circle back in there to
Yep.
turn around. I know, I disagreed, but
Well, and we've got to look at also
Also
with
be
the
for
fire,
drinking and
with
drugs and dumping your garbage
the
off.
fire department and when they start closing roads.
yeah,
you
the
know,
fire
they have to figure
department
out how to
had to
get-
have access to, there's a couple parcels in there that will stay what they are. So,
All right, let's keep moving. Well, anything else for the layered zoning? Looks great. Thank you for all you're doing.
You're good
It's been a
with it?
lot of,
Yeah,
it's been a lot of time in that. I
yay,
know.
Mary.
Yeah, Mary, good job.
yeah, I've
Good
been
job.
trying to kick that because people ask me tonight.
All right, parks update.
Oh, I met working with, the engineer with Jason Manson, and I met with Trustee Kiko on Paris Township's thing today, and I've got to talk to Mr. Manson again tomorrow, and he's gonna start writing up everything towards what needs any prep work, and then towards the resurfacing of it, so we're moving along on it.
Okay.
So which township agreed to take on the chief responsibility?
I think that's me.
We said we didn't want to be the chief. We was the chief one last
Wait a
time.
minute. We said we didn't want to be chief. How many cooks in the kitchen, right?
We wanna make sure.
Well, it's a big financial responsibility.
I don't think it costs us financially.
No, it takes a lot of time. We're gonna tax our fiscal officer. I mean, takes him a lot of time to do that grant and to do all that accountability for it.
Is Stark County Engineers gonna draw this up? That's
Yeah.
what they did before.
Yes.
Then, but I mean, like that thick of all the stuff that would, to have all the townships in it. I saw it was a pretty
And then
intense thing.
there's another, that other Kenneth Brown, he'll help do the.
I think you wait for the county to give you that big fat document and
So they came out today, you say, and
No. They didn't come out. Me and the trustee from Paris Township was on their section. They wanted me to check to see if there was anything that needed dug out and filled in as soft spots or anything. We found nothing that we see it needs.
not on our side.
No, well, I knew ours didn't, and Nimishillen doesn't, and even Paris, that really doesn't have anything.
I say you get that document and the township that's getting the most money, you hand it to that fiscal officer.
Right, we're getting the
I
least.
mean,
We get
We're getting the
out
least
all.
amount of money on this. Hand it to the
So-
person that gets the most money. These big townships, I mean, Nimishillen is way bigger than we are.
They usually get the most of it.
They're way bigger than we are. Let Bosler help do all that. Bosler? Let him do that. All right, I got a text message from Mr. Spencer. Let me grab it real quick. He is asking for a meeting, and I told him that I'd bring this up. He said, any update on the police force? I said, as far as police coverage is concerned in the township, we're all under the agreement that we're not interested in having a conversation at this time. We've looked into this option in the past, and the township just simply can't afford it. And then the other conversation was, I was wondering if we could set up a time to discuss CEDA and JED JEDD options for the village and the township to partner together to enhance new business to come to the area. We can invite the CBED or SEDB to join us as well if the other trustees are open to it.
Invite the what?
SEDB,
Stark County,
Star County
Oh, he's
Engineers.
talking about the Stark Development Board.
Stark
Okay.
Development.
Okay. And I said that I would speak to the trustees and see if we were interested in meeting and try to find a time. So here I am.
So we could stop and meet, but my question to him is that he wants to create economic development, but the village has no ground. The only ground they had, we bought, and we're putting housing on it.
Mhm.
There's no open ground within the village unless they're gonna tear houses down. So they want to do economic development, we're gonna do it. And they have their own zoning, we don't zone them.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not opposed to talking with them. I doubt if I'm gonna be interested in doing a JED with them, because again, we'll be the loser in that one.
Okay.
But
So when
We
you,
can talk
in
about
the
it.
past, when we've met with the East Canton Council, when does that typically happen?
we didn't meet with the council.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no, we did meet with the council. I'm sorry. We met with the whole council
Okay.
and
Pretty much we go to their meeting and they come to ours. Is that
they
how we
usually
do that?
came here.
Okay.
We could go there, but they usually came out here.
All right. Theirs is a Tuesday meeting, I think.
No, it's a Monday. It's
Is it
It's
opposite
a
ours.
Monday.
Oh, it's opposite ours?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. How would you like me to respond?
Well, it wasn't just for what he's talking about. We did shared services. And that's what, one of the things we should be talking about is what is our shared services? And where are we gonna go with that? Are they interested? Because as of the new mayor, we haven't been sharing any services.
Okay.
What do you want to share? Or do you have anything to share?
Well-
They did share like your mowing stuff and things at the road.
The guys went up
We
and did
do,
an East
and
Canton
we-
project, didn't you?
Yeah.
In the past, we ran out of salt and we bought salt off of them and we stored things. We did some things like that. We do some Ubering for them or something.
I think it's more us doing services. We went up and ditched roads. We went
I
up and mowed. There's nothing they're gonna come do for us. They ain't got nothing up there.
Did we bill them for that stuff or no?
No, we never have.
That's, I mean,
Okay.
what do they
But
do?
no, that's the point.
there's
We
no
need to
shit.
make that point to them. We're doing all this for you. What are you doing for
Right,
us?
it's not shared.
Wow.
Yeah.
But the village is part of the township. Though they have their own government, they are still part of the township.
And so is the school. And we usually help both of them out, but we can only do so much.
Right.
We can get our own stuff done.
Right.
We're up there trying to do stuff. for the
All right. We want to go to
village.
their meeting and you want them to come to ours?
We scheduled a special meeting to do it.
Oh, did we schedule a special meeting?
Yeah.
Okay.
I say you schedule a special meeting here.
Yeah.
They can come here.
Okay. Special meeting here. I'll speak with fiscal officer Lowry to kind of see what the schedule looks like and what his schedule looks like as well.
Just make sure you're not hitting that zoning that we just talked about.
Yes, sure.
But that's on the regular commission meeting.
Okay. I will work together on a special meeting and I'll just text or call the group if you don't mind. And I'll check with David Spencer and we'll check with his group as well. All right. Thank you. Moving on to correspondence, Stark County Health Department overdose report.
That's your correspondence that are in your mail.
Yep.
I emailed them to you and you got hard copies of it.
Okay.
They actually, Stark County sent it out to each one trustee. And
Yeah, I saw that. Do we need to make a motion or do anything on this? Is this just for your
It's
information?
just information.
Just
What
correspondence.
the health department's done with the year.
Okay. Anything else for the good of the order?
Thank you to Mr. Stone for coming. Did
Yeah,
you want
thank
something from us or you just popping in? See where we live, huh?
Perfect. Thanks for being here very much. All right, can we have a motion to adjourn?
So,
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thanks very much. What did I say I was gonna do? I'm calling Zorn and I need to get a hold of David Spencer.
I realized, Brenda, that you were sitting beside me at the Scott meeting. I
Yeah.
just realized, I was like, oh, she's right.
Did you guys all
I
get a
was
copy
in
of
the
this?
other office and I
Randy?
saw you
Did
walk
get